This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.
Victoria Cup night at Melton, and what a card this is and what a Victoria Cup it is. But we start off perhaps with a special, and it's to number 1, Born Again Sassy. Like it a fair bit. She's a good mare. She's racing well. Her last 2 runs have been seconds on this circuit. Worked very hard to find the breeze last time and battle on very strongly in the home straight when challenged by Blue Collar Tiger Pie.
Blue Collar Tiger Pie put its head in front before the bend. 28-4 third quarter. Blue Collar Tiger Pie from Born Again Sassy. Then She's Irresistible. National Galleries down the outside, but Blue Collar Tiger Pie got away. Opened up from Born Again Sassy. National Gallery, but Blue Collar Tiger Pie, hasn't she come back in super form, and she wins brilliantly. Blue Collar Tiger Pie from Born Again Sassy. National Gallery third.
Second pick in the race, number 5, Lombo Cloud 9. Been going through the classes in the country really well. It's been here before in good 2 and 3 year old races and well up to winning this race, but just does draw a little bit awkwardly and hasn't raced for a month, but it's well in this. Third pick, number 7, Steam Washed. Would have been probably top pick if it had drawn an alley, but I don't like the wide gate over the sprint journey. She's a very good mare. She's back to her best form that she showed probably as a 2-year-old when she won something like her first 5 starts with good wins at Bendigo and here last week at her 2 runs from a spell. Fourth pick in the race, number 8, Chloe, might get a nice soft trip. Won a special in the first to beat 5, 7 and 8. Race 2 on this 10-race card is a sprint race for the MOs. Probably not one of the strongest MOs we've seen, and I thought Jimmy's Gem should get away with this race tonight. Number 9, good Swan Hill winner 2 starts back in fast time. Then it came here at its latest run a fortnight ago behind Astral Flight. Did an absolute stack of work to find the lead and was beaten on the line by Astral Flight out sprinting it, and it was daylight to the others. Think this time it'll be driven quietly early from 2 on the second line, and this is its pet distance. Second pick, number 8, They Call Me Chaos, been going great guns up in the Mildura area, and Gary Hall this time driving for Shane Cramp. Third pick 2, fourth pick 1, 9, 8, 2 and 1 in race 2. Race 3 is a pace final for the horses that qualified at Cranbourne last week. It's an MOM1, so a good metropolitan class field. Lance Justice has got a very good hand here with Alchemy, number 8, and also its stablemate, number 4, Mark Dennis. I could hardly split them, but I'm just going with Alchemy. I think it's probably got the sharper sprint of the 2. It just needs a little bit of luck from the inside of the second line, but it's in with a great chance. Second pick in the race, number 4, Mark Dennis. It ran second in its heat of this race at Cranbourne last week to Rodrigo. Alchemy, of course, winning the other heat and in the fastest time. Second pick, number 4, Mark Dennis. Third pick, number 6, Jacka Felix, who flashed home when third to Alchemy off a slow pace, and it was the one making good ground out wide at only its second run from a spell. Fourth pick in the race, number 12, Cut for an Ace. Good solid effort, went second from the breeze last week, but does have an awkward barrier. 8, 4, 6 and 12 in race 3. Race 4 on the card, first leg of the daily double, and there's a big jackpot on this daily double tonight, as there is on the big 6 in the major race. Sprint race, this one for the M1, M2s. Well, hello, Dolly. Well, gee, hasn't she improved recently? She sat and she sprinted very quickly to win her latest 2 runs, including a win over Alchemy. 2 starts back was a beauty. And then from You Bring the Drinks at her latest run here. Drawn to do exactly the same thing again. Perhaps might lead and hand up to You Bring the Drinks as it did last time they met. Using the sprint lane, the 1 to beat number 4, You Bring the Drinks, who's got a great chance as well. It's racing in rare form. Won at Mildura since that last start here. Third pick is number 6, Lady Penrose. Mixes her form a bit. Good winner here, 2 starts back. Didn't really fire when down the track at Cranbourne last week. This is a much more suitable race for it, however. And fourth pick in the race is number 10, Toulouse-Lautrec, who ran a nice race, went second to Smoking Up its stablemate under free-for-all conditions last week. 1, 4, 6 and 10 in race 4. Race 5 is the time-honoured Dullard Cup. And I'm not saying it's the best edition of this Dullard Cup I've seen in recent years, but, gee, it's a very competitive one. Let's have a look at last week's Cranbourne Bill Collins Mile for a good form line out of this race, where Mr. Zion, my top pick, ran second, who I didn't do it, who led all the way.
On 3 wide, Kazyanov, Elegant Image behind the leader. No run, Don King, and then came Vulcan. I Didn't Do It, turn into the straight, 3 metres in front from Mr. Zion trying to lift. Then came Elegant Image, Kazyanov runs on. I Didn't Do It in front from Mr. Zion. I Didn't Do It, just the leader. It's fighting plenty. I Didn't Do It. Mr. Zion can't get it. I Didn't Do It, does it all the way. I Didn't Do It, beat Mr. Zion, and third home Elegant Image.
Yes, I Didn't Do It led all the way in that race last week over the mile. This time goes to gate 7, makes it a lot harder. He is arguably the best trotter in Australasia. I think I Can Do's it's got that mantle in New Zealand, but in Australia anyway. And he is second pick, I think, behind Mr. Zion, who was a real tough run last week and looks very well suited with the pace on up front. 10 to beat second pick number 9. I stuck in for second, Elegant Image. He ran second in that race we just saw, sitting in the garden spot behind the leader, and just couldn't make use of the sprint lane in the home straight. He wasn't going quickly enough, but he'll be a much fitter horse for that first up run since winning the Breeders' Crown. Third pick is number 7, as I said, I Didn't Do It for the reasons I just espoused. And fourth pick number 2, Vulcan, who won this race. The last running of this race last season was actually earlier this year. The Kiwi, not racing at his best. I thought he showed signs last week at Cranbourne. He's got a good chance and he will lead, I think. 10 to beat 9, 7 and 2 in race 5. Race 6 is the Casey Classic, a virtual consolation, I guess, for runners that didn't make the cut in the Victoria Cup. 9 to bet or punt didn't make the cut in the Cranbourne Cup last week, so he was taken across to Adelaide, where he ran a mighty race to win the Italian Cup over there from the breeze. It's a lot harder race this, but he's a good sit spreader and drawn perfectly to do just that. Second pick in the race, number 12, Mark Alert. I thought it was a bit stiff not to get into the Victoria Cup field. He had a gutbuster last week. Wasn't far away in 7th behind Tearaway after winning a couple of races really impressively at Menangle and the 3rd in the Kilmore Cup. Very good form line for him. Third pick, number 6, Decorated Jasper, an old warrior at this level, doesn't know the meaning of lie down. He's now a 10-year-old, but he's racing well, and he may be the leader too. And fourth pick, number 8, he's a trick he'll run on very strongly. Leaving out Hunter Cup winner of last season, Choice Achiever. He draws wide. I want him to show some form before I start tipping him. 9, 12, 6 and 8 in race 6. Race 7, the big one, the SCW Euro Drive Victoria Cup. Tipping here, number 3, I'm the Mighty Quinn. We'll have a look at, first of all, I'm the Mighty Quinn's win in Perth last week. I know it didn't beat much, but it was a comprehensive victory. And then after that, we'll have a look at last week's Cranbourne Cup, which features most of these horses, including my second pick in this race, Tearaway.
Mr. Magical Mac, well back, a Hoka Dallas coming to the turn. I'm the Mighty Quinn has raced up to Please Release Me on the bend. Then sneaking down under Raka Rebel, Mr. Magical Mac. Hall goes for I'm the Mighty Quinn. Quinny exploded away with 100 to go from Please Release Me. Raka Rebel running home gamely, the stablemate, but I'm the Mighty Quinn races away, and I'm the Mighty Quinn has won brilliantly again. Second.
Off the back in 27.1. Better Bless goes for home. Leads 3 metres. Mark Alert, Melpark Major. Tearaway with its run. Better Bless in front. Out after it, Tearaway. Tearaway loomed up to hit the lead. Coming through Melpark Major. It's Tearaway in front. Tearaway's clear in the cup and Tearaway causes a boil over. Tearaway beat Melpark Major. Third, probably Caribbean Blaster. Close up, Mustang Mark near the inside.
Yeah, I'm the Mighty Quinn to win. I'm not too sure which way he'll do it. He can go in to win, but Lance Justice is saying he's declaring war on Smoking Up to find out how tough I'm the Mighty Quinn is, but he's got a second option, and that would be to hand up to the Gold Ace, who I think will be absolutely flying out of the gate anyway. And the Gold Ace, must be remembered, was trained by Gary Hall when it won the Gold Nugget in Perth 12 months ago, so he knows the ability of that horse. I'm going 3 I'm the Mighty Quinn to beat 2 Tearaway. I thought he was terrific in last week's Cranbourne Cup, and that was his first run for about 6 weeks, so he'll strip a much fitter horse, and he has a beautiful alley to be driven exactly the same way he was last week, just off the pace. For the Gold Ace, because he's such a good horse, and especially grows a leg when he's in front, and I think he might be there. And fourth pick, number 5, Bitter Bliss. Not forgetting I'm forgetting last week's run. I'm not taking any notice of it. He ran his middle half in about 156.5. He was flattened by the time they got to the home turn and eased down in the home straight. He'll do a lot better this time. He's not going to be doing it tough and winning races like this. He'll be able to slot in nicely, Scott Stewart, and sprint very quickly. A very open Victoria Cup outside the clear top pick on the Mighty Quinn, however. 3, 2, 4 and 5 in race 7. Race 8 is the Victoria Sires Classic, sees the return of Guaranteed, and he's a real superstar, this bloke. He hasn't started since going amiss after winning the Vicbred final, going back to last July, where he was very wide and beat Border Control and Lenny the Shark. Second pick in the race, number 8, Nowitzki. This is a horse with loads of ability. It's sort of untapped because it has been a little bit of a problem at times to hold that speed in harness. But if he's actually sitting behind Guaranteed, he can really sprint. Could make the race interesting in the home straight. 2 Sapphire Swayze, a horse going through the classes very well. Toughest test to date. 9 I'm Supersonic was good first up. 1, 8, 2 and 9 in the Vic Sires Classic. Race 9, a trotter's race for country class horses, but horses that will be in town and racing at Melton consistently before too long. 6 Kai Valley Blue, the American horse, only third to Brunelleschi at Cranbourne last week. I think he can actually win this race, turning the tables from the front line. He drew the second line last week and he did run on very strongly. 8 Brunelleschi has won 7 its 11 starts. It ran on very well to win that race last week, and that was only his third run from a long spell. The third, number 4, Sandy's Boy, it's resuming from about a 6-week break. A very nice square gaiter, trialled well recently and did win a hat-trick of races before her last start, 4th here, and 4th pick number 3, Apollo's Gift, who's well up to this level. It's still learning the caper, however. 6, 8, 4 and 3. Finishing off in the last with a claiming pace, 11, 12, 9 and 5. I thought Cosmic under 5. Disappointing last one, but if he ran up to his best form, he would win this, beating LGP number 12, then 9, then 5. Great night of harness racing out at Melton. The best bets on the card are, hang on, where are we? Born Again Sassy in the first race, and the roughie is Caribbean Blaster, race 7, number 13. So best bet on the card, race 1, number 1, race 7, number 13, Caribbean Blaster is my roughie. He'll run a big race as he did in the Cranbourne Cup from the draw from where he's been slaughtered. And the quaddie, 1, 4, 6 and 10, into 2, 7, 9 and 10, into 6, 9 and 12, into 2, 3, 4, 5 and 10. 1, 4, 6, 10, 2, 7, 9 and 10, 6, 9 and 12, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 10. Don't forget there's a $200,000 guaranteed pool, including a jackpot on the quaddie, and there's also a $200,000 guaranteed pool on the first 4 in the Victoria Cup. Good luck.
This preview brought to you by Harness Racing Victoria.